Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to do something a little bit different today. The holidays are quickly approaching, and I thought it would be fun to come up with a gift guide, but not necessarily just for the holidays, but for any time of year. Maybe it's for a birthday, maybe it's just because you want to tell somebody that you love them and you want to get them something crafty, or maybe it's for you and you want to get yourself something special. So I've pulled a few things that I thought were kind of essentials, a couple that you may not think that I'd pull. Things that are great to get somebody started with paper crafting. Maybe they're, already experienced crafters, but they don't have a ton of stuff and you want to kind of add to it. Again, maybe it's for yourself. So I have a bunch of things that I'd like to share with you today. And many of the things that I'm sharing have their own videos already on my channel. And I'll be sure to link those videos in the description box below. So make sure that you check them out. But all of these products that I'm going to be sharing with you today are very well loved by me, are kind of essentials in my craft/studio space. And I love them. No one's paid me to do this. No one's asked me to do this. I just wanted to share some of my absolute favorite and most used things that I think everybody can use, everybody can find value in. They're not super specific to any one type of paper crafter. I think that they're just great for everybody. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to move a couple of things out of the way here. Let's first talk about, these are here. So let's start with this. These are the Waffle Flower Shader 1 Plus brushes, and I got these a few months ago for myself. I had seen them in a few videos from other folks, and I thought they were so pretty and really useful. I do a lot of ink blending, especially with stencils, and I thought that they were really cool. I love that they each have their own color. I love that they're double-sided, and I really love that all of the brushes are angled. So I keep these stored in a drawer right on top of my desk. They're just all kind of clumped together. You can get things to separate them if you want to, but I don't. I just love them. You can get really soft coverage, but you can also lay down a lot of color with them if you want to, and they work beautifully. They're very comfortable to hold. They're not too thin. Again, the fact that they're double-sided, I do dark on one side and light on the other. It's easy to see which side is which, and they are a wonderful, wonderful value. You can get them single-sided if you want to, but really, it's a better value to get the two sides because having a light and a dark is aces in my book. So these are the Waffle Flower Shader 1 Plus brushes. They're available at a number of different retailers. I will have all of the links for the products in my description box below, in case you're interested in any of them. So these are I love them. I use them all the time. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's talk about this. This is the Zollie Palette Scout. Now, there are lots of things on the market that can help you with colors. You can get just a regular color chart. You can get color wheels like this that help you pick colors. There are lots of things. I love the Zollie Palette Scout because it's small, it's compact, it doesn't take up a lot of space. I don't have a very big craft room, and the layout of this room is very awkward. So I don't have a lot of room to have large boxes or anything like that on display. So this is perfect. Plus, if you want to go to the store and pick colors at the store, you can totally do that because it's so portable. There are instructions here. There are challenges to kind of help you choose palettes. But the cool thing is that you create your own palettes. Sometimes, yes, it's great to have someone else pick a palette for you, but it's really nice to learn about color theory so that you can make beautiful choices on your own. And again, I have a video that explains all of this, and then I have a couple of videos that go into me actually using the Palette Scout and what I've come up with. So you've got all of these colors. These are the muted tones on this side, and then you have the true hues on this side, and you can see that you've got lots and lots of colors here to play with. And I like the size of them. They're nice and big. You can use this to choose cardstock, ink, pattern paper, whatever. But it's a really useful tool. They have plenty of palettes pre-chosen for you on their website if you want to download something like that. And then there are other tools that you can get to go along with it. But again, there's instructions here. It's just a great portable, affordable way to help you kind of choose colors whenever and wherever you want to. So I highly, highly recommend the Zollie Palette Scout. Next up is the BetterPress from Spellbinders. Chances are you've seen me use this in videos before. This is one of those things that I have another video just about reasons why you might want to add a BetterPress to your crafting space. This is such a useful tool. This platform here is magnetic. There are also magnets that kind of go up and down here to attach this top piece. And what happens is you'll have a plate like this one. They're not all this big. Some of them are much smaller. There's sentiments, things like this. But this plate will go here, and since it's magnetic, it's going to adhere itself. You'll adhere paper to this side, cotton cardstock, smooth Bristol, watercolor paper, regular cardstock, whatever. You'll ink this up, and then this whole thing with the paper on here and the ink on the plate will go through your die cut machine, and you will end up with something like this. Now, I chose this one because the lines are so fine and detailed. Do you see the texture? It's a little tricky to see it on camera, but there is a beautiful, beautiful texture, and this is just one pass. You'll never be able to get something so crisp and perfect with a clear stamp, for example. The results are incredible every time. This is the perfect tool for a beginner. This is the perfect tool for somebody that is, well, as experienced as I am, and I'm always looking for some way to advance my skills. This thing is amazing. I bought this myself. This was not given to me, and I cannot explain how happy I am that I made this purchase. Every time I use it, I'm in shock at how beautiful things come out. So really, I highly encourage you to check out my other video that explains, I think it's top 10 reasons why you need a BetterPress. And then check out some of the other videos that I've actually used the BetterPress in, because I'm telling you, I don't like gimmicky stuff. I don't like stuff that only has one use. I don't like stuff that requires a lot of time, heat up, prep, etc. This is as easy as using a regular stamp, but better, because the images will always come out crisp, perfect, and beautiful every time. And there's lots of techniques that you can do with this. So again, I encourage you to check out the video that I have about the BetterPress. Next up on my list is the MISTI, or some other type of stamping platform. I use this so much more than I ever thought that I would. I still love my clear acrylic blocks. I have a plethora of them, and I use them often. However, stamping can be pretty imperfect. So if you need to repeat stamp, either because you're creating a pattern or because you didn't ink something perfectly, this is such an important tool to have in your arsenal. So I recommend getting some size of a MISTI. They come in in varying sizes. This is the size that I have. I love this one. You've got a magnet. I have my corner pieces here. I have the other accessories that go with this. But it makes stamping so easy and repeatable, which, you know, if you like to batch, if you like to, again, create patterns on your cards, it's super helpful to have something like this in your stash. I held back for a very long time before expressing that I wanted one of these, and I was lucky enough to have this sent to me from a friend, and I use it all the time. I use it all the time. It is a wonderful tool. It's invaluable. It's not the cheapest tool out there, but you know what? You will use it all the time, and you will probably wonder what you ever did before you had one. This part is going to be a little bit awkward because I'm holding my phone while I film, but I had to show you my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus machine because this is a workhorse. As you may know, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and that means that my joints are prone to pop out of place. They sublux. So using a crank die cutting machine is not the best option for me because it just makes things worse. So my husband picked this up for me. This is a scrapbook.com exclusive color. I love this color, and I'm telling you, I use it all the time. I use these big plates. These are the plates that it comes with. And you could see that they're monstrous, right? But you don't have to just use those plates. If you have a regular Big Shot, you can totally use this size plate in here as well. They will fit and they work beautifully. I cannot recommend this enough, especially if you have hand or shoulder or arm issues like I do. This is the best. The only thing I'll say is that I don't like to use it with my BetterPress. I do use my old Big Shot crank machine because I find that this has actually too much pressure for my BetterPress. So that's the only thing that I don't use in this. Otherwise, this is a workhorse and I use it daily, many, many times a day, especially with this large platform when I'm cutting lots of things. There's so much room on there. It's fantastic. I mean, you can see how much bigger it is than my hand. It's wonderful. So make sure that you take a look at that if you're in the market for an electric die cut machine, or like I said, you have some arm, shoulder, hand issues like I do. Next up, since my phone is already out of my rig, is my Glassboard Studios glass mat. This is the Color Burst mat, and this is what I work on all the time. I love that it is white, but it also has some fun colors, and it's a soft white. It's not super harsh. Plus, I love that the lines are gray and not black because that contrast is very distracting to me. So this is nice and soft. In addition to that, so when you have a glass board from Glassboard Studios, this whole thing is magnetic underneath. So when you work with any type of magnet, these are their bar magnets. This is their mag ruler. These are their pawn magnets. Everything is going to work anywhere that you place it on the board. There's lots of colors that you can get. There's lots of options. There's more than what I have here. This is their magging tray. Glassboard Studios has some seriously amazing products, and this was given to me by my husband. It was a huge surprise, and I love it. If you've been watching my videos since he got it for me, I think it was last year, it's in every video because I'm crazy about it and it works so well. It's great for holding stencils in place. It's great for holding your paper, your cardstock, whatever in place. I use it to, I use these magnets when I'm working with my BetterPress plates to make sure that they stay where I want them to stay. So many things. It cleans up like a dream. There's lots of different patterns that you can get. These come in a wide variety of colors. I'm just a teal girl. And I can't say enough fantastic things about it. I do have a coupon code for Glassboard Studios. So if you're in the market, definitely make sure that you use my coupon code because it will save you a bit of money. Love, love, love this glassboard. We've spoken about some things that have a high ticket price, right? Let's be honest. I mean, your glassboard is not a cheap purchase. Well worth every penny, but it is a little bit pricey, right? The Sizzix Switch, a little pricey. So let's talk about some things that are a little bit more affordable. Maybe you're doing a Secret Santa with somebody. Maybe you want some stocking stuffers. I have a bunch of suggestions for you. To start off, we have the Pear Blossom Press Card Maker's T-Square. This is the A2 size. There is also an A7 size. I don't have that one yet, but I need to get it. What's fantastic about this is that it is a zero centering ruler. I love zero centering rulers. I use them all the time. This is super helpful. because when you want to have something right in the middle of your project, you can do that. And this one works when you have your A2 size card vertical or horizontal. In addition to that, there are these jigs here. And one is a 1/2 inch, one is 3/8 of an inch. So if you want a 3/8 of an inch border, you're going to put this like that. And then you're going to take, let's just grab some scrap paper here, take whatever layer you're putting on, and then you're going to be able to line up your 3/8 of an inch border. Same thing on this side for a 1/2 inch border. And then you'll just have that work all the way around. Obviously, this is just scrap. It's not cut to size or anything like that, but this will give you perfect alignment. If you're working with sentiments, you can easily line up your sentiments or critters or anything else. Maybe you're making strips, right? And you just want to make sure that you stack them all perfectly. This is a fantastic and inexpensive tool. I went ahead and put the measurements here for what the size mat would be when I'm using either side of the jig. I did that myself with a Brother, what is that, like a P-Touch labeler. So it won't come with this, but you can do that yourself. So again, there's this A2 size, and then there's the A7. Great tool. I have a video that explains this in more depth, so be sure to check that out. It's listed in my description box below. Here's a great stocking stuffer, especially if you have a glass mat. This is a magnetic bowl. So if you have a bunch of die cuts, or dies, I should say, and you want to keep track of them, they're going to stick in that bowl. They don't stick to this. You need to have the magnet like this in the bowl. But these are super inexpensive. You can get them at Harbor Freight. I think that you can get them at Ace, probably Home Depot and Lowe's, but they are inexpensive and they are a wonderful tool, and you're not going to drop your dies. You don't need a glass mat for this. As you can see, I have it way up here and nothing's falling out because there's a magnet built into this. I think we actually got this at Micro Center too. But they definitely have them at Harbor Freight. So this is fantastic. I use it all the time, especially when I'm working with lots of small dies, because I have everything contained and I know that I'm not going to drop them accidentally. Let's talk about a workhorse of an ink now. This is VersaFine Clair ink from Imagine in Nocturne. This is the most beautiful black. It is so rich and so crisp, and I use it on almost every project. It's a pigment ink, but it's a quick drying, so you can emboss with it, but it is going to not smear. You'll notice that there's some white along the edges. That is normal. You're going to find that all of the Clairs are going to have that little bit of white there where the ink hasn't gone all the way through to the bottom of the pad. That's okay. Don't worry about it. But you can see that it has a really nice loft. You can see that there's a bit of a texture on there. But I'm telling you, this is my favorite black ink I have ever used. It is rich, it's deep, and it's crisp. You can get the re-inker for it. And this would be a great stocking stuffer. Because you can't get a better black than this, at least not that I've tried. And if they've already got black and you want to expand their collection a little bit, or maybe you want to expand your collection, I highly recommend Twilight, which is a gorgeous, rich, deep blue, and Pinecone, which is a very neutral brown. There are 3 browns in the VersaFine Clair collection. This one is my favorite because it is just a beautiful color. There's also Fallen Leaves and Acorn. Acorn is a little bit red. Fallen Leaves has more of a gray tinge to it, but it is still a brown. Pinecone's my favorite. Another color that's great is Monarch, which is a rich purple. But these are my top 3, for sure. I love them. You can get re-inkers for all of them. Well worth their price. Anytime I'm stamping a sentiment, I'm going to say 95% of the time, it's with a VersaFine Clair. Next up, gel plates. I love my gel press plates like you can't even imagine. Now, granted, I like to consider myself a mixed media artist. However, maybe you or the person that you're gifting something to is not. That does not mean that they shouldn't have a gel press plate. Okay, they come in a wide variety of sizes. There's way more than just these. These are the ones that I use the most, though. The 6x6 and the 5x7 are my top 2. I do like this 3x5 though as well. So what do I use this for? Obviously, you're going to use it for mono printing. So you can use this with your stencils. You can use it with just paint or textures that you may have around your home. I have a ton of videos showing you how I use my gel press plates. But beyond just that, like I said, maybe somebody isn't into mono printing. This is a great way to get them into it in case maybe they've said, oh, you know, that's kind of interesting. I'd like to learn more about it. Get them one of these. But if they're not quite there yet, this is also a fantastic tool to hold things in place. You can see I've got this little piece of pasta from Spellbinders here, and I'm pushing it with my finger. It's not going anywhere. So a lot of times I will have these smaller pieces. Instead of trying to hold it with my fingers, I'll put it on my plate and I'll use my brush and I will just ink up those edges. And you can see it is not going anywhere. I don't want to push too much because it's already inked the way I want it, and there is ink on here, but you can see it's not going anywhere, right? And then you can just peel it up. There's no stick on the back. It's perfectly fine and ready to be used on your project. This is also great if you've got a stencil and you want to put your pattern paper there. Let's just pretend we're using this. Hold on. Right? And we'll put this on here. Now there's a lot of layers here, guys, so it's not sticking perfectly, but you can see that I can go like this. It's not going anywhere. So if you're somebody that doesn't really want to use pixie spray or something like that, although there are some times that it is still useful, this is a great tool to have to keep things where you want it while you're working with them. And then if the person decides, hey, you know what? I want to get into mixed media. Well, there you go. You can totally do that. It's a nice, easy jump. And then I've got this large piece of acrylic. This is from Joggles. They come in a wide range of sizes because I like to be able to move my plates on and off my desk as I'm working with them. So that's not a requirement, but it is super convenient. So gel press plates are definitely high on my list of things I would recommend for any paper crafter to get, whether they're into mixed media and mono printing or not. This is the Tag Collection die set from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. This is a fantastic die set because the tag sizes in here are so useful. Even if you're not like a quote tag maker, perhaps you're a swatcher like me. And I tell you, that's what I use these for predominantly. These are the swatches that I use for Catherine Pooler and my VersaFine Clair inks. And it's this one right here. I use this a ton. And you can see they're just a great size to see the colors that I've got. Then I use the big one, or the second largest one here, for my distress inks and my oxides because I have plenty of room to get two nice big swatches of my oxide and my inks on one tag. So these are fantastic. I use this set so often. I use it for more than just swatching, but really it's my workhorse for any time that I want to swatch. So this is a great die set. I highly, highly recommend it. Now, I don't want to get into like all different types of stamps and all different types of dies and embossing folders because really there's so many out there. My camera's falling, guys. Hold on. Okay, fixed my camera. There's so many of all of those things out there, and everybody has different tastes, right? Maybe you like flowers, but they've got to be a certain way. Maybe you like stripes, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want lots of hearts, maybe you don't. So I don't really want to get into that stuff because everybody's so different, but something that I think most of us need is a really good sentiment stamp and die set, and this would be it. This is the checking in stamps, and then back here I have the checking in dies. These are from Christina Werner and Concord and Ninth, and you can use this for almost any occasion. Birthdays, anniversaries, sympathy, just whatever you can think of, you can pretty much use this set for. And while it may not say happy birthday, you can definitely use hope today is a good one. While it may not say with sympathy, it can say you're never far from my thoughts, you are loved, just checking in, you okay? I mean, these are just fantastic. All the hugs, great for anniversaries. You deserve only the best, great for birthdays. Just I'm telling you, it's such an awesome, well thought out set, and the dies cut every single sentiment that's here, even these itty bitty ones. You can see, here's the hay, here's the die for it. So you don't have to worry about, not having a die for something. It's a great set. I can't recommend it enough. I've used it a ton of times, and it's really useful. And it's more interesting than just a basic happy birthday, happy anniversary with sympathy kind of set. So that is my choice for a sentiment set that pretty much everybody can use for almost every occasion. So that was a lot of stuff, I know. Some of it more expensive than others, but whenever I can, I include coupon codes with all of my recommendations. And since this video is being posted the week of Thanksgiving 2025, there are probably a ton of Black Friday sales going on. But even if you're checking this video out in say April or June, I bet you can find some of these at a great deal. But nothing that I recommended today has been asked by the companies for me to promote. I'm doing this all on my own. I just wanted to show you some of my favorite things that I work with all the time. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I know we didn't make anything today, but there's lots of videos on this channel that you can check out. I'm sure you'll find something that you haven't seen before. But I will be back very soon with another video where I'm going to be making some cool stuff, probably with some of these products. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you found this helpful. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're watching this when this is first posted. Otherwise, have a great day no matter when you're watching. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Be well, stay safe. Peace out.